In today's video, we take a 27 question Python assessment over the very basics, and it didn't go great. All right. I will preface this is a very long video. So if you could give it a few minutes watch, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and drop a comment. Let me know how you think I did. There are chapters in the description below. And so let me know. Give me your thoughts. Very curious. Anywho, enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on, nerds? Welcome in to the IT Unprofessional. Today we begin our journey into actual learning, and I'm super excited. So, a few things to start it off here. Start us off here. Oh, I'm gonna say words incorrectly. Get the hell over it. All right, we're here. We're gonna have some good times. I'm gonna have fun because I'm learning, and learning is, well, it's very frustrating at times, but it's very enjoyable overall. So, what we have for you today is I have an a Python assessment through Claude. Claude so far has been my preferred AI model to interact with, especially when it comes to teaching things or learning. I find it's more verbose, and it explains things just a smidge better, or at least the way it words its responses. It just resonates with my brain a little bit more. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to camera here. As you see and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my camera here or not, but we have just a Python fundamentals. It's 27 questions. It's supposed to range from very basic to not. Again, this is going to be a basic overall. So if you're a dev, even a junior Python dev, this stuff's probably going to be well below well below your pay grade. But for me, I want to learn about it. So a few things I'm gonna take. I've read the very first question. Outside of that, I haven't read any of the other questions in here. I'm curious to see what it gave me, and so as a kind of a backstory here, I do have a notepad. I'm gonna take notes. I mean, I'm treating this just like I would any other session I have about learning. And so, really the biggest difference is bringing y'all along with me. Now, I do have the O'Reilly Introducing Python book right here. Again, the boom arm always in my way, right? So if there's something I need some more guidance on, or some more, basically just some literature to reference, I have that available to me. So, Python basics and syntax. It's going to be 8 questions over this. So what will this code output? We have a variable x getting set to hello, a variable y set to world. We're printing x plus a space plus y. So this is going to print hello world with the space in the middle. Which of these variable names are valid in Python? My variable, that's going to be good. Sorry, I didn't give you any backstory. So real quick, I have been learning about variables, right? And basic, like I knew, like, hey, this right here, right? We're taking x plus, right, an empty string. I know that this is a string. I know that this is a variable, right? I know that, plus, minus, division, those are operators, right? So like the very, 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 very surface level basics, I've kind of started to learn, and that's what I'm hoping to be able to test again. My knowledge of those concepts, or those things, to see kind of where I'm at, and then after this assessment, Claude is going to provide like a curriculum on, hey, here's things to learn, and I'm hoping to have every X concepts, or every X topic, to have some form of a project. So, with that being said, my variable is fine. Excuse me. Second variable is okay. I don't know if you can have a number to lead it off. Variable hyphen name or private. So this is going to be fine, and this is going to be fine. Private hyphen name or variable hyphen name. I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to go here with this one, just because I'm not entirely sure you can have that hyphen in there. Again, I haven't written a lot of code, which this course I'm hoping will help me actually get some syntax right written, get some hands on, and really start learning on how to use how to put things together. So, question 3: what is the difference between equal sign and the two equal signs? So, this one I'm almost certain the first one is like an assignment, like earlier, right? X equals this. I think this is an assignment versus the two of them would be a comparison. So let's see, would be an assignment setting something to a value would be a comparison. And part of this also is so that I can not only recognize things, but I'm able to learn how to explain them as well, right? Um, I used to have a teacher in high school that said if you can't explain something, you don't know it well enough. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So I'm hoping to find a lot of a couple shortfalls, um, probably a lot of shortfalls in my knowledge here. So would be an assignment setting something to a value would be a comparison like does uh two I don't know two I don't even know that so like I've seen this like I made a I don't know a few months ago I made a like a parser, I believe it's called. And it was like print every, they provided a list of numbers, right? And it was like print every number as long as it's divisible by two, right? And that would very much be like, hey, if I is divisible by two without a remainder, right? So if or I guess you'd have to have a four. So four I in range here, or four I in nums, or whatever the variable would be. Um, if it's divisible by two without a remainder, which is this, right? It's comparing the the output of this against whatever values here. So hopefully this is okay. Again, I don't really I can't explain it. But I can see it and recognize like, oh, this needs to be that or vice versa. So here we go. I do get into the weeds on the questions, which was one of the kind of hesitations or reservations I had about doing this, but this is my process, right? And it is what it is. So, question 4. What will this print? We have a variable set to 42, and we're going to print type. Type meaning, oh God, that's not, I don't know what I just did there. Cancel. So we're going to print the type of number. So we're calling a variable here, right? Printing number, but that number is set to 42, which will be an integer. It's not a float because it's not a decimal. So this is going to print int. Or it might spell it all the way out. I'm not quite sure, but it's going to print that it's an integer. How do you create a comment in Python? Show 2 different ways. Oh boy, I know for sure one of them. You can use the pound sign, right? Uh, you can use the pound sign. I know that's for sure one of them. I know the other one because I had to do this. I actually used AI to create this program for me, and in that I had to use SQLite. And in order to write your scripts, they had to be a comment out. And so what that is, you can use the pound sign to make a single comment, or if you need to do like a block, right? Like hey, like I have 4 sentences that need to be a comment. Maybe I'm explaining something within a function or something along the lines. So you can use the pound sign for a single comment, or you can use 3. Here is comments. There we go. You can use 3 quotation marks on either side. So basically, it's the bread of a sandwich, right? You have the bread, which is 3 quotes, and then you have your sandwich content. Dude, I really want a sandwich right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hungry. But I needed to get this recording done today. I didn't do this yesterday. Usually Saturdays are my learning days, except for now it's college football season, right? So I was very hungover in the afternoon yesterday. I don't drink very often. I did partake in some adult beverages yesterday, and I was very much reminded as to why I don't partake in adult beverages anymore. So, anywho, that's why today ended up being learning day. So, but yeah, you can use the 3 quotes on either side. So, all right. What will this code do? All right. And maybe we do this a little bit. Opens it up. So, we have a name variable or variable called name that's set to Alice. We have a variable called age set to 25 with a print statement using an I don't know if this is called an F statement. I don't know the proper name of this, but what this does is you hit or it's like you hit print, right, with your quotes. That's your basic operation. Um, and then inside of that, you can do an F statement or F string. It's an F string, right? Because you hit F and then you open up your string. I wish that thing would go away. This thing. So this, right? My name is a string, and then you call your variable here, right? And I am variable years old. So this is going to print without the quotation marks. And for the sake of simplicity, we're going to say, hey, my name is Alice. I am, what is it, 25 years old. And no punctuation. So there we go. Number 7. True or false? Python, God, get out of here. Python is case sensitive. Explain with an example. So Python is case sensitive. The I know what I can do here. None, right? The word none. That is very much case sensitive. So if in a function, right? And I'm hoping some people who do understand Python or will watch this as well to make sure I'm speaking correctly. I should record a transcript and then punch that into AI and have it review this. That actually might be helpful. Put that in the ideas bank. Anywho, let's see. Python is case sensitive. Words are hard, and I don't have spell check in Notepad. Don't judge me. For instance, when returning none in a function, you can't use lowercase none. At least I'm almost certain you can't. Could be wrong here. It is what it is. Number 8. What's wrong with this code? Print hello world. Well, there's another example right there. Your print statement's capitalized. So print function is capitalized. Right. So, I mean, that answers question 7 in itself as well. So, all right. So, the first 8 questions are complete. Excuse me. It looks like we're going to be moving on to the next section, data types and structures. All right. So, let's hop into it. Create a list containing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna say, hey, this list is called nums. We're gonna set that value to this right here. No period. So list use brackets, right? And dictionaries use squiggly marks or squiggly bars, curly brackets. That's I think that's curly brackets the official. So variables can be what I could put that as X, Y, ABC, whatever. But we have a variable here, num, set to a list of the provided values. Let's see here. Number 10. What's the difference between a list and a tuple? Give an example of each. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is something I am not. Tuples are not something I am familiar with in a sense. I've heard of them. They've been used in some of the AI provided code that some of my projects are were written by. But I haven't made it a point to learn about them. So I'm gonna give it a best guess, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna tell my answer. Hey, please explain this to me because I'm not sure. Because what I'm putting here simply is very much a guess. List can be modified while tuples are not mutable. I guess I can put mutable. Mutable like mutation, right? Mutable. Oh, I do have spell check. Score. Except for I'm typing in real time, so y'all can see me make my dumb head mistakes. So, there is that. So, let's see. Oh, I did. And so we're gonna say making a sequel comment with the double hyphen. This is very much a guess. Please include in lesson plans. All right, moving on to number 11. We are 17 minutes in. This is going to be a long episode. So bear with us here. How do you access the last item in this list? So you can do, I'm just going to do a simple print statement. So we're going to do, hey, we're going to print fruits, and then we're going to index it, right? Index it by -1, which is again, I don't know the correct technical terms here, but we're gonna do an index, right? Which for Python, the first value, right? And let's for this, it's a list. This actually begins. Let's just do this down here, right? So this actually starts at. What if I do this? This actually starts at 0, and then it goes to 1, 2, and 3, right? So for this specific, right, you could do fruits 3, and it would grab the last item in this list. Or you can just do -1, right, and it'll grab whatever the last one is. So, and then we need close parentheses. Number 12. What will this output? So we're doing a splice right here. So we have a variable number set to a list of numbers. We're printing said values, but we're slicing. And we're slicing by index 1 through 4. And if I remember right, slices they start inclusive to exclusive. So this would actually be 1 through 3 technically. So given our values here, 1 is going to be starting in 0, right? At least, actually, yeah, it is, not at least. So 1 is 0, so we're starting at 2, and then, so this is 2, sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to print these values here. And the reasoning This is using a splice, which is set to inclusive to exclusive. And we'll go ahead and wrap it. This would help. This is going to help the Claude understand more of what I mean. I spelt that wrong, didn't I? Inclusive. Oh, somebody text me. Delete repeated word. Oh, okay. 13. Moving along. We're almost halfway there. Create a dictionary that stores the information about a person, name, age, and city. So, we'll just call this dictionary person, and it's set like this, and the, excuse me, so name is, I'll just use myself. For those who don't know, my real name is Austin. I believe it uses the commas as separation. I am not sure. I know JSON does, and all for Python, whenever it converts over from a JSON, JSON converts to a Python dictionary, and those hold commas. So I'm gonna hope that this is a valid, like within Python. So, what was the other one? Age. And for simplicity, we're going to come down here and type in city. So, we are age is a integer, which do not need, it's not a string, so you don't need quotes. I'm currently 31. I do turn 32 here in a few weeks. City, I'm not going to put my real city out there on the interwebs. Let's just say Seattle. I did used to live up in not Seattle, but Washington State. But city is going to need quotes because that is a string. And then we need close curlies. I think, most of the time it's like this, at least from what I've seen, where they break it apart. I think it's more of a pretty thing and not functional, but I could be wrong. Not quite sure. But that would be a dictionary that stores the 3 keys upon the values. Question 13, 14. How do you add a new item to the list? So for here, so say right here we have colors and we need to add green to the list. What we're gonna need to do is say colors dot append and then green, except for they don't have it capitalized. So, and I'm not sure about this. If anybody here does know Python and you're still watching 23 minutes into the episode, I'm not sure if there's a difference between double quotes and single quotes, if there's an appropriate use case for one or the other. So if you do know, please inform me. Anywho, so we're going to take the list. We're going to apply an append function adding green to said list. 15. What's the difference between these two? Let's see. We have a list. Is that just it's not a set, is it? This one again, so question 15. I mean, this is it's just setting B to a group of values while this one's a list. Or is this a tuple? Would this be considered a tuple? This is something I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna follow suit from this one. So A is very much a list. However, is B a tuple or just a set of values? All right. Well, there we go. Number 16. Oh, moving on to section 3. We got 8 questions. We're doing 27 total, right? Yeah. Okay. 16. Write a function called greet that takes a name as a parameter and returns hello name. So, let's see. And again, since the structure is gonna be a little weird because I'm using Notepad, I guess I could use Notepad plus. So we're gonna define a function called greet that takes name and it's gonna be equal to. I'm just gonna use a blank string. And then from there we try to structure it fine. Return. Hang on. Da, 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 da. So we're gonna call a name, greet name, and then whenever you call it, it'll be greet Austin. Like that. So this is gonna overwrite the blank string. See this right here, the way I'm working through it is what I need to capture, and somehow like the transcript would be really really good to help Claude, like, hey, this is how I'm thinking through things or not appropriately knowing, right? I don't. So I know I have the set there. I know I'm gonna need a return. Actually, result will equals print hello and name. Like that. So let's see. So we have we're defining a function called greet that takes one parameter, one argument that's a variable set to a blank string. Result, which would be result. Result is equal to the print an F string saying hello, calling that variable greet Austin. That's going to be my guess there. I don't know if that's structurally sound, or if that's even the correct way. The indents look fine to me. The actual call of it is outside of the function, so my question mainly is this of saying, hey, what question 16 takes a name as a parameter and returns hello name? We're going to go with that, and if it's wrong, it'll explain why. So, moving on, 17. What will this code print? So we have a function called mystery function. Excuse me, that takes a parameter x. What this is doing is multiplying x by 2. Result equals mystery function 5, so that'd be 10. Print result. That should print 10, right? Because we're just taking 5 times 2. Results. Oh, did this just answer my question? Hang on. Function return. So I'm setting a variable here. Hang on. Result equals print f string here. I'm returning that result. calling the f string with this variable, the variable gets overwritten by Austin. So when I call greet Austin, it's going to print result because result is equal to that statement. Right? Okay, now I'm second guessing myself. I'm gonna leave it. It is what it is. If it's wrong, that's why I'm doing this whole 30-minute episode. Holy cow! My regular videos, I don't believe are going to be this long. I'm shooting for like 20 to 25 minutes. But this is the initial assessment. I want to take my time. I want to be able to explain things, and whatnot. So, write a loop that prints numbers 1 through 5. All right. So let's see. We could just do. I feel like I'm gonna overcomplicate this. Sorry, I just spaced out. All right. So we need to write a loop that prints numbers 1 through 5. So, let's see. So for I in range, and again, inclusive to exclusive, print I. So it's going to start at 1, end at 6, not 2, or it's going to start at 1, up to 6, but excluding 6. So this will print for I in range, print I. And we're just going to leave it at that. Complete this if statement. So temperature is 75 degrees. Write code that prints it's warm if the temperature is above 70 degrees. So we're going to take this. I'm gonna double space here so I can so if temperature is greater is above 70, so not equal but just above 70. So if temperature is greater than 70, print it's warm. So here's a thing to notate, right? Using an apostrophe, and this may have answered my question from earlier, right? Using an apostrophe here is a single quote. So if I used primarily single quotes, my statement would have closed right there. It would just print it, and then actually toss me an error. So that's something to think about. So maybe double quotes would be the safest option just for use cases just like that. I'm not sure. So if temperature greater than 70, it's going to print it's warm. So this one, temperature being 70, it will print it's warm. And I don't need an else statement here, because if it isn't greater than 70, or would that cause a failure? So just in case, we're gonna say elif, or we'll do else pass. Excuse me. All right, number 20. What's the difference between return and print in a function? So in a function, let's see. Let me think. I feel like return gives you an actionable value versus print just gives you information. It's how my brain is like saying, hey, because so for this, right? You have like this, right? This function is returning this value, right? It's returning something there versus if this just said print equals So like this, right? Print print is giving you this. It's giving you that value, but return is see, this is what I want to fix, or this is what I not fix because nothing's wrong per se, but this is where I want to get to be a point where, hey, like this is this and this is that. Um, because right now it's like, oh, like my brain's like, oh, there's something there, but I can't articulate it well enough. So what we're gonna do here, here number 20. So within a function, return provides a value while print displays that value. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's going to work or not, but if I'm wrong, or if it doesn't hit the nail on the head, my prompt that I'm going to give at the end of this should catch those things. 21. Write a function that takes two numbers and returns their sum. So we're going to call this, we'll just call this addition, right? It takes an x and it takes a y. So result equals, or actually, I can just make this simple. Return x plus y, and then we call addition, or no, we got to set this to something. So we'll say result here. Result equals addition, and then we're going to say 2 plus 2. And then we need to print the result like that. And I'm going to go shut my door real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. Question 21. Takes two numbers, return, God bless America, returns their sum. So definition, defining a function called addition, taking two parameters, or arguments, or I don't know the technical term, but it takes two variables here, I'll just say arguments. Excuse me, we are returning the sum, right? So we're providing a value, right? Return provides the value of this, right? While print displays it, right? It gives you visibly that option, right? So that's my, and again, anywho, try not to get in the weeds. We're already running very long. So we set result to the function call with two arguments there, and then we print the result. So that's my answer. I had to put a little Copenhagen in there. Start getting like space squirrel, type thing. What will this loop print? For I in range 3, right? So 0, 1, 2, print f count I. So this is going to say, we're just going to do this. We're going to do this, and it's going to start 0, and then we're going to do, I hope the spacing in my notepad isn't going to make answers wrong. Here, and then here, here. So for I in range of 3, again, this is going to be an exclusive number, just like up here somewhere. All right, 1 through 5. I had to use 6 because it's exclusive, and because we don't have a specified lower or start. I don't have to put that there, right? Print f count here. So it's just gonna print it's gonna print like that in the console, but for the sake of this, we'll do that. So 23. Fix this function so it works correctly. So we're going to define a function called calculate area that takes the length and width, and again, this could be x, y, width. So area equals length times width. Dude, I haven't done geometry in, I don't know, 12, 15 years. Area equals length. I feel like it's like length times width squared or something. Or is it? All right. Equation for area. Rectangle square is just side by side, or s squared. Circle has pi times radius. That, yeah. So what? Oh, there's no. I was looking too deep into it. There's no semicolon. There is no semicolon after. Where I was like, dude, the area, like, it, I don't know. And this is the whole part of, if you watch my video about transitioning into tech, it's like those type of things, man. I'm just like, I don't know, like basic geometry equation. At least I don't have them memorized anymore. And it's like that was always like a factor trying to get into tech. I'm like, dude, I'm dumb, you know. And so, um, anywho, there is no I after length times width. Also, it needs a return statement, right? Because right now, it's giving you the definition, or it's giving you the name of the function. It's giving you the parameters. There is no semicolon. It's giving you you know an action within the function, but it doesn't. It's not printing anything. It's not returning anything, right? There is no nothing being provided there. All right, on to section 4, problem solving and application. Four of these. This might be an hour long, so for those that are still watching, I am very sorry, but I do feel like I'm doing well overall. But we'll see here soon. Write code. Write code that counts how many times the letter A in the A appears in the word banana. Oh boy. So, earlier we had to use the equal sign. We're about to use that right here. So for this one, we need a word that is set to banana. We need to iterate through that word. So for I in word, if I is compared, right? Comparison is equal to A. Oh, hang on. We need to make a count. Count equals 0, right? If I is equal to A, then count is plus 1, which is also here. Else pass. Right? So we have the word banana. We have an empty count. We need to iterate through each. Oh, do I need to split it before? See, this is where I've messed up in the past of having code provide me things that I didn't take the time to fully study or understand. Um, because now in my mind I'm like, do I need to split banana to break it up into individual letters? and then that's what I'm looping through? Or can I just say, hi, for I in word, or is it just going to say banana as a whole? Right. So I guess we'll find out. But this is my off the top of my head how I think. Right. We have a banana, we have count. So for I in word to me is going to say, hey, we're going to go B and then A, then N, then A, and then right. And then if that I is equal, not equal in terms of a singular, you know, equal sign, because that's kind of that, to me that's setting a value. But if it's actually equal in terms of comparison, then we need the plus one to the count, right? And I don't want to override it, so that's why we're doing plus to equal. So it's iterating that. Um, Otherwise or else we're gonna pass, right? No action required. Create a function that takes a list of numbers and returns the largest. Ooh, this one's gonna be difficult. Um, so num, or yeah, we'll say nums equals, and we'll do a list of. Oh, no, sorry. We're gonna say define sorting. No, what do we want to call this? Define large number, I guess. And we're gonna take one argument called nums. It could be x, I guess, whatever. We need to sort that list, which I think there is a dot sort function. So we're gonna say sorted equals nums dot sort, and then return sorted index minus one, because I believe sort naturally sorts from lowest to largest, um, or ascending order. And then if we sort it by ascending order, the last value of that list would be the largest in theory. So we're going to take that position or that index, is my thought process here. 26. Write code that asks the user for their name and age, then print a message using both pieces of information. So for here, we're going to use the input function. So let's see. So for this, let's see. Write code that asks the user for their input. So we're gonna say input equals what is your name and age. Then prints a message using both pieces of information. So, oh, hang on. We're gonna have to set different variables here. I need to get more space because it helps me think. Um, we are gonna need this, but I think we're gonna need to separate it. Or is it actually this, like this input? See, this is another one. So I feel like I'm on the right track. I just don't know the specifics. So, what is your name? We're going to set, and this could be all wrong, but we're going to set name to equal what is your name. We're going to set age to equal input what is your age. And then we're going to do a print using an F statement. Your name is name, and you are age years old. I could be wrong here, but I believe I think that's the way. Um, I'm not 100% confident here. All right, 27. Last question of the assessment. We are 50 minutes in. Yeah, it's just gonna be a long one. So, maybe I split it up into two part. I no, I don't know. Excuse me. Sorry. Challenge. Write a function called is even that takes a number and returns true if it's even or odd. So again, we're going to go back and use that comparison value or comparison double equals. So we're going to say define is even that takes a number, we'll say x. So if x is divisible by 2 without a remainder, print true. Oh, print true. Oh, hang on. That takes a number and return true. Else, return false. Right? So, that's gonna be the assessment. Pretty good assessment, man. For prompts, it's like, hey, um, please find my previous conversation about I prepped AI for this video. Stay neutral in your responses, but be still supportive when I do something well. Otherwise, AI will completely shit on you. Just FYI. um, if you had confidence issues before, you would definitely have it since then. So, or after that. So, with that being said, um, please analyze my responses. Keep in mind, I'm writing these in Notepad, so some of the syntax structure may be a little off. Let's go through the answers, and then let's talk about a study, or let's talk about a lesson plan to continue learning Python. $19 out of 27. I thought I did better than that, honestly. So let's see what happened. Oh, so that question two, both of them, the second and so both of the ones I was curious about were wrong. I thought it was pick one. I may have read the question incorrectly, but that's my bad. You got to be more careful. So, you got the concept right, but it prints class int, not just int. Oh, okay. Again, it's still technical, so I gotta be better. Triple quotes are for multi-line strings, docu-strings, not comments. Oh, interesting. Okay, which makes sense why a multi-line string would use the sequel. Okay. 10 and 15. You are right about mutability, but missed that B creates a tuple. So okay, so my thought process was there. It was a tuple. I didn't know, right? And so it's calling me on that, and so now I know. But I was right about mutability. So mutability means can it be mutated? In my mind, I'm like, can it be mutated, right? Can it be changed? Lists are mutable. Tuples are not mutable. Missing quotes around dictionary keys. Oh, I did. I 100% did forget that. So therefore, I don't know it. Close, but print doesn't return a value to return. Should be return f hello name. Print doesn't return a value to return. Oh, okay. So I should have done this like the other one where I do this and then I set this to a variable and then print that variable because then that would print the greeting. Interesting. Okay, so question 25. Oh, it's the sort. Okay. Sort modifies the list and returns none. Use max nums or sorted nums. See, this is the frustrating part. It's like my thoughts are like it's in the ballpark, right? But I'm off in left field when really I should be on third base or something, you know. Oh, I wanted to use a Modelo, not Florida Vision. Son of a gun. But I mean, like I said, the whole premise of this is a learn with me. I'm not teaching, right? I'm not. This isn't a teaching channel per se. This is just me to publicly learn. It's something I enjoy and it's content I like, so that's what we're putting out there. So learning plan. So the next couple of videos, right? Phase one, the next 2 or 3 sessions are going to be data types and a deep dive into them, especially tuples, lists, dictionaries. So that'll be one video completely about 20 to 30 minutes of just those data types. Function returned versus prints, right? We're gonna do a whole video just over those. Operation mastery. I 1000% need that lesson, right? Because I got a lot of those very wrong. And again, if I can't articulate or explain it, then I don't know it well enough. Phase two, string methods and manipulation, list methods, input validation and error handling. Those all, again, every one of these is going to be a separate video. Some of them are going to be, string methods and manipulation part 1 and part 2, right? Because I'm not going to be able to get everything I want to learn, and not just I don't want to just learn it from I can explain it today and watch the video, but like 3 days from now, I'll also be able to explain it, right? Um, and then phase 3, file handling, classes and objects, real project building. So I do apologize for this taking so long. However, I didn't want to rush anything. I want this to be very raw in real time, because that's this is my learning journey. This is where I'm at knowledge wise about my Python. I know more than I thought I did, which is good. I thought I knew more than I really do here. Um, which I guess those statements are hypocritical, maybe. They contradict each other, but I had a lot of confidence in those answers. So what I thought I knew wasn't really what I knew, So overall, 70%, I'll take it. But I'm excited. So up next, our next video is going to be over data types, and we're going to go deep dive into them, and we will see what happens in that next video. So until then, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, your week, weekend, whatever it is, whenever you're watching. I do appreciate your time. If you stuck it out this long, really, really appreciate it. Go ahead and if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and a comment. Those are the best ways to help support this channel, aside from just watching the content. So let me know your thoughts on how I did today. I'm very curious, especially if you are, a junior dev or a dev, or you just know this stuff. I'm curious what you thought of, what I would call very, very surface level knowledge. And just let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm always looking to improve myself, which is why I do things like this. So until next time, y'all take care.